Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and this is what's in my toolbox, the series where I show you the tools I use to repair cars and fix things. So let's find out what's in my toolbox today. And in this instalment, we have a set of standard or Imperial spanners, depending on whereabouts in the world you are. My American friends and subscribers will call this standard. The rest of the world seems to call it Imperial. I know it as Imperial, so that's what I'll be referring to as the rest of this video. And yeah, it's quite an interesting little set this. It's CT1178. It was branded as Nielsen when I picked it up off eBay, but I don't think it is. It seems to be a collection of Imperial spanners from different brands that they've collected into one kit, which is quite interesting. We have some very interesting little ones. So it goes from 1/4 inch all the way up to 7/8. Just the camera slightly rolled out. It's a 1/4 inch all the way up to 7/8, and the 1/4 inch was a husky at some point. And you just wake up the last 2 letters of husky on there, which is pretty cool. And this is my most used Imperial spanner. I don't do a lot with Imperial spanners. Most of the time it's all pretty much metric over here in the UK. There are a few uses, like the 3/8. Some brake lines are still 3/8. And then we also have a few other different ones. So we go like this. Different sizes, I don't use them all that often. Sometimes when I work on older vehicles I use them. And that's why I picked this out really. I did a couple of older vehicles that I was just doing a little bit of work on. Unfortunately I can't get any footage of it because of the weather, but they're pretty handy little tools to have, and I've used some of them. The main one I use, like as I said, is the 1/4 inch. I mainly use that for this little screwdriver bit trick. So if you're trying to get a bit into a really tight spot and you can't get a screwdriver or a socket in, you can get yourself a bit and a 1/4 inch spanner like this, and yeah, you just break them loose fairly easily. They are quite long as well. There's a fair amount of leverage on these. But let's talk about some of the other cool little brands we've got mixed in here. So like I said, we have a 3/8, which I believe was a Cobalt at one point. It's hard to tell on there. And they're just like misshaped, misprints, so I guess that's where they've been rejected and put to this kit. Still pretty cool. We have a Crescent. So a Crescent spanner here, which is pretty cool. Still the Imperials. And we also have some other ones. We have a Cobalt. And I hear Cobalt mentioned a lot by my other American YouTubers, and there's a brand that I seem to use. So I'm not quite sure. If you know anything about Cobalt, let me know in the comments. I'm not overly familiar with them myself, but I hear their name mentioned a lot. And yeah, just some more Cobalt. And I believe it's more Cobalt. We also have a few more interesting ones at this end. We have this Power Torque one here, which is 13/16. And yeah, it's quite interesting. It's got a lifetime guarantee apparently, which is quite interesting. And yeah, it's quite a cool little spanner. And then we have this last one here, which is a big one, which is a SATA, which is quite interesting. And yeah, it's quite a big spanner really, and quite an interesting spanner. Got a nice shape to it, and like I said, I've heard of SATA a lot. Quite a cool brand. And yeah, overall it's quite a cool set. It comes with this lovely little tool roll, which reminds me of using my granddad's spanners when I was younger, which is pretty cool. I probably won't keep it in this tool roll, just because it's coming out. I thought I'd show it in the video. So moving on to my final thoughts now. This is quite a cool little set. I know it's a bit mix and match with the spanners, so I do worry that you may get a different set of spanners in your one if you purchase one yourself. And I'm going to give this a 3 spanner rating, just because of that fact. I don't really want to recommend it too highly in case you get some really rubbish spanners. But for this set I've got here, it's a very fair score, especially if you can work with some older vehicles here in the UK. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.